Welcome to Barbecue and Grilling with Derek Riches. Today we're going to be talking about brisket injections. If you know anything about barbecue, you know that one of the great secrets is to use an injection. You can get one of these little injectors under $10, or you can pay up to $100 for injectors. It's a way of getting extra moisture and flavor inside the meat itself. We use rubs to put on the outside. We'll use mops to keep the meat moist during its cooking. And you can always serve it up with a nice sauce. But what about getting that flavor deep inside? With this needle, we can poke straight into the meat. We can get those flavors right inside of it. And as it cooks, the moisture and those flavors are going to spread out and give us just a better tasting cut of meat. And in this case, we're going to be talking about brisket. Now, one of the things to notice about brisket is the way the meat fibers run. The grain of the meat runs kind of diagonally across the brisket like this on this side, and it'll run differently at a slightly different angle on this top side up here. Now, what that means is that the liquid we put in here will run along the grain, but it's not going to travel laterally across the grain that way. So that's where we want to focus our strategy here for using an injection. We want to be able to get it in, being mindful of where that grain runs. Also, with a brisket, we have some big sections of fat in here. We don't want to worry about getting the injection into the fat sections. It's just going to kind of cook away. We're going to lose that. That will just actually leak right out as the brisket cooks. So today I'm making up my most popular brisket injection. We have a cup of beef broth. I've got a tablespoon of whiskey just to give it a little extra flavor. This is a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I've got some brown sugar, soy sauce, salt, garlic powder, and black pepper. Nice collection of flavors. The beef broth and the soy sauce and the Worcestershire sauce, that's going to give us that extra beef flavor. Whiskey's going to kind of kick it up a little bit and help it kind of come together. Now, one trick about making up an injection, I like to do it in a glass. That way I can get down into it. If you do it in a bowl, now it's harder to get to it when you're trying to bring it up in your needle. So I'm just going to dump all of my ingredients in here. And I'll just whisk it all together with a fork. You want to try and get that sugar to dissolve. And this recipe is going to make me close to a cup and a half or so of my injection. And I want to start down on this end. I'm just going to kind of work in at a bit of an angle. Helps me get towards the center. That's where I want to get. And you let the meat kind of puff up with that liquid. But it's going to spray out, so you'll need to keep an eye on that. You don't want too much pressure, but you want to get a good amount of your liquid inside. The meat's going to resist this. So go slow. Be patient and work about every 1.5 inches to 2 inches through the meat. So I still have more injecting to do, but like I said, what I like to do with this, once I've got the injection done, is I'm going to apply my rub, and then I'll wrap it up, let it sit for about 30 minutes while I get my cooker together. But yeah, you will notice that you're going to get a lot of leakage out of here. Brisket injections are easy to make. You probably have most of the ingredients you need in your house. There's a lot of stuff that's sold as a brisket injection. Usually they're powdered concoctions that you just mix with water. The problem with a lot of the commercial brisket injections you're going to find on the market these days is, well, their recipe isn't all that dissimilar from the packet of beef flavoring you find in a ramen. They have a good dose of MSG in there, a lot of beef broth powdered, and then salt, pepper, a couple of other things like that. Making your own, you get your own flavor profile. It's actually a lot cheaper than buying those packets, and you can make as much as you need. I find that most of those packets make enough for 3 briskets, not 1, and unless you're cooking that many briskets at a time, it's just not worth the waste, because, well, they're not designed to be broken up much. I mean, you can, but it is a great way to put flavor into your brisket before it goes to cook. So I hope you found this useful. If you did, there's a little button down there you can subscribe for more, and a thumbs up would be appreciated. Thank you very much.